What's going on, everybody? This is the Undisputed Champ Sports Podcast. Today, we're actually going to do our WWE Monday Night Raw and SmackDown live review. If you didn't know already, I am your host, Preston. And if you guys are listening to this on any other platform, check us out on SoundCloud and YouTube, Undisputed Champ Sports Podcast. Now, let's get to the hosts. We are joined by the one and only Thumbs Up Tommy. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday night. Hope you're all doing well. Let's get into these reviews.
All right, and we decided to save the best for last. We are also joined by the man of the hour, Carmine. Say what's up to the people.
What up, everybody? Let's get it poppin'. The boys back on the weekly review.
All right, so we're gonna do this a little different than any other review. If you guys have listened before, you know what we do on Monday Night Raw reviews. If you guys are new, we're just gonna talk about what we liked about Raw, what we disliked about Raw. We're not gonna go through the entire show. So what we're gonna do is actually start off with Carmine. Let us know what you liked about Raw before we go to the dislikes.
Let's see. I mean, there were some good things on this show. There's a couple of them that I'm thinking about in my mind and my brain. Was really good, but I will save it for you guys. I really enjoyed Cesaro versus Ricochet.
Yeah,
I thought that was such a good match, and I just love what they're doing with Cesaro. By the way, I would like to mention, I mentioned in the chat with us, Cesaro. I like his new theme, but man, just stay with doing the bar thing. Like when the lights come back on, be in the middle of the ramp, just posing like you did when you were in the bar. Because when the lights come back on, he's just walking out. That shit just looks wrong.
Wasn't that a
it don't
Sheamus
go
thing?
with the music. It just don't go with the music. But Sheamus isn't there. Like it doesn't. Like okay, I understand that Sheamus' thing, but they were a tag team, so just stay with it. Who cares? Just stay with doing it. Like you don't have to. Like he could find when the lights come back on, because even though that was Sheamus' thing. They're still doing the dim the lights back onto the spotlight thing like Sheamus' theme. So why not just keep the pose? Like you can do a different pose. You don't have to do the same pose, but do that instead of when the lights come back on and you're just walking out with your gear. Like I don't know, man. I just think I don't know. I like Cesaro's look when he was in the bar. I just feel like he should keep that look. Sheamus is fine to where if you separate the bar. And Sheamus goes back to his old look because that's what he's always had. And he's been fine with that. But Cesaro, I just like him with the new look that the bar had. Like, it worked for him. Like, just keep that. Like, I don't understand why. Like, I think they should have never changed that. They should just keep that. And his theme music is dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that goes with it. Like, they should have just keep. Like, if they changed his outfit, okay, cool. But just keep that same thing. Like, because he's still doing the bar thing with his hand. He's still doing that shit.
Yeah, keep that same energy.
So just keep everything else. Like, and keep everything else for him. It works for him. Sheamus can do the same shit he was doing before, and he will be fine. But we're not going to see Sheamus for a while, I don't think. Anyway.
Unfortunately, but yeah.
He got the bar trunks on, too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just keep everything. You change his music, cool. So just keep everything else. Like,
I don't think Sheamus is coming back either. I don't think so either.
Yeah, I've heard rumors of him retiring.
Yeah, because he got that spinal stenosis thing. When you have that shit,
yeah.
you're on borrowed time. And Sheamus even said it. He knows he was on borrowed time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they kept him with Cesaro, because it helped his career. It made his career last longer. If he stayed singles, he probably would have been retired already.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
So, and especially if Sheamus doesn't come back. Bro, just give everything to Cesaro, bro.
The whole theme, everything.
The look, everything. Just give it to him. Like, I think it's just so... I'm sorry. I understand it's a small thing, him just walking out. But if you watch the whole entrance, and then the lights come back on, and it pauses for a second before he comes out, and then he walks out. That just don't look... It just looks weird.
No, I agree, because that entrance
weird.
with the bar, that was very unique. Like, nobody else has had that. So why not keep that?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Anyway, what you guys think about the match? I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was amazing.
It was arguably the best match of the night, easily.
I liked it. I like the fact that, even though I did say yesterday that Ricochet took another L, but I understood the story was that Cesaro was going after that back that was injured from Money in the Bank. Which
Exactly.
on
Like this loss for Ricochet, I wasn't even mad at because they had to
It
sell
makes
the
sense.
injury.
yeah,
And even okay, but let's say this. Even if Ricochet was healthy, him
you talking
losing
about
to
Cesaro?
Cesaro is not wrong. It's not bad for me.
It's not like losing to Corbin.
Exactly,
Because let's be honest.
bro.
Let's be really honest here.
Yeah.
Cesaro should be a world champion by now.
Oh, of course, of
And in my
course,
Bro.
eyes, Ricochet just lost to a world champion.
of course.
Exactly. Like Cesaro's a top-notch talent. Like there's no shame in losing to him.
Ricochet
Yeah.
should not be losing to Bobby Roode, especially if afterwards you're not doing shit with Bobby Roode.
Yeah,
Nor should he be losing to whack-ass Corbin.
I agree with
That's
that.
a little bit understandable though, because they're actually doing something with Corbin. Like it's not like it's not okay. Let's put it this way: the loss to Corbin is not a wasted loss. The loss
I guess.
to Bobby Roode is fucking wasted. He didn't do shit afterwards.
That's
Corbin,
just
you
as
actually
bad.
see them pushing him, but
Yeah.
they're actually
Yeah.
pushing Corbin though. That's the
Yeah.
difference.
Like the loss to Rude is just as bad as if he were to lose to Raleigh.
I don't
Yeah,
think it's that.
I agree.
I don't think it's
Nah,
that.
fuck that. I agree, bro.
I don't
I
think,
agree.
You agree that it losing to him is the same as losing to Mojo Rawley?
Yes, because that is the level that they because after he beat Ricochet, he's done shit just like Mojo Rawley.
Exactly. Like
Okay.
unfortunately, as awesome as Bobby Roode is, they have him eating shit.
I'm
Okay,
not
okay, if
saying
you look at
Bobby
it from
Roode is
that
as
perspective-
bad. I'm not saying Bobby Roode is as bad as Mojo Rawley. Obviously, we all know Bobby Roode is way better.
Mhm.
But I'm saying though, they're not doing
Like-
shit with Mojo Rawley. They didn't do shit with Bobby Roode afterwards. So it's on that same level.
Exactly.
It was
like
a wasted
yeah,
loss, bro. It was wasted.
It's not about the skill. It's rather the status of who you lose to.
No, well, I'm not talking about the skill. If you look at it from that perspective, then yeah, I agree. I was just talking about as
For
far
sure.
as if we're talking about mid card, upper mid card.
No,
Like
no,
Mojo
no, no,
Rawley's
no, no.
below the lowest of the
Yeah,
cards, and Bob
yeah,
Roode is
but-
probably
Bro,
low mid.
he's like middle bottom card.
And then Baron Corbin is like upper. You know, the way like Carmine said, the way they're pushing him, he's upper mid card.
Oh yeah, for sure. And let's be real. Their next pay per view, whether we like it or not, that's Seth Rollins' next opponent because they teased it in this show. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah, they're planting the seeds. That's obvious.
so you can see, and not to mention, obviously we can look at the size of the competitors, and you could understand Baron Corbin beating him.
Yeah. And you know what? Baron Corbin, his matches with smaller guys have actually been his better
No,
matches.
Those are just it's
So,
the same thing. It's
same
the
as Brock.
same thing with Brock, bro.
Mhm.
Bro, these big guys, when
Yeah.
they go up against each other, it's a fucking
It's
dud.
trash.
It's a dud, bro.
It's so trash.
Because going up against smaller
Mooresville.
guys, it brings out the best in them, and it also makes them as the bigger person more threatening.
Mhm.
And the big person, like you, I'm not saying you can't have the big person versus the big person, at all, never again. I'm not saying that, but don't have that so many times. Like use that as a spectacle every once in a while.
The thing is,
Like you know
the
what I
thing
mean?
is,
Like,
it's
Yeah, it's
harder
only so
to
many of them.
entertain us. It's
Yeah.
harder to entertain us with two big guys than it is with a little guy and a big guy because with that dynamic, like you can do other things that you can't do when you're facing a big opponent. You can toss them around like a rag doll, swing them around like it's nothing. You know?
yeah,
Like,
everybody
like,
and
show off your
who
strength.
doesn't like the fucking underdog story? Who doesn't like the underdog in the match?
Yeah, I agree with that. And like what Carmine said, you have to make it a spectacle. If you can build it up in a proper way to have two big guys go against each other and don't do it all the time, then you can put up pretty good matches not by what happens in the ring, but by the stakes that's on it. You know, if you do that
Facts.
right, then it'll work. Because remember, we saw Lars Sullivan versus Keith Lee, and I like that match a lot. The one in NXT, but
Mhm.
you know that's
Yeah.
NXT, so it's it ain't gonna translate like that. But
It doesn't count in the main roster.
yeah,
shit.
yeah, I agree. Okay, so all right, so Tommy, what did you like about Raw?
I'm glad Carmine didn't mention it. The Revival versus the Usos.
Oh,
Yeah, that was my second one, but I know one of y'all wanted that one.
Yeah, and the one that you mentioned was on my list too. I had a couple of them. I was like, I gotta have a couple of options because I'm pretty sure one of the guys is gonna pick one that I have on my mind. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, this match is everything that I anticipated it to be and more. Like, fuck all the sophomore pranks, all filming them, shaving each other's backs, the hot cream. I mean, like that shit was all funny. Don't get me wrong. I laughed my ass off at it, but like this is what I wanted to see. Great tag team wrestling, and we finally got it.
Yo, oh wait, by the way, wait, before we continue, what you put in the chat, yeah, I approve, Randy Orton. You're awesome. That was an
Facts,
awesome response.
facts. I approve, Randy.
That is awesome.
No, I saw that. I was like, hold on, I gotta hot take this to the boys so they can see.
Bro,
it.
you know Randy Orton don't fucking like Brock. You know he don't like Brock, bro.
Especially after that one time he busted him open in SummerSlam. What was it, 2016?
Yeah, you know he don't fucking like Brock.
This is great. I like this. I like it.
Cause Randy has his new schedule where he's hardly there too, but he's there. Like, you know what I mean? So like he's still
he's surely there more than Brock.
Well, he just plays his role. That's all.
He puts in the more work, and also he's earned the right to have a lesser schedule. He earned that fucking right. Let's be honest. So, but anyway, go ahead.
Randy Orton put in years, but yeah, like that's beside the point. Anyway, so I loved it, just the dynamic because, like, the Usos. I don't know. To me, their style of wrestling is all around because they have the tandem tag team offense. They can fly. They're pretty technically sound. And then you got the Revival that they're just straight up technically sound and then brawling style. So I feel like it's a good dynamic when you have a team that relies on power and technical prowess versus one that can do everything.
Yeah, and okay. And speaking of Preston's exhibition thing, you see, Preston. I don't mind this.
Oh, he acknowledged it.
No.
There is a God.
No, but this has always been my point.
Yeah.
Neither one of those motherfuckers have the titles. So I don't mind that.
Mm-hmm.
If one of them was the champion, I don't want to see that shit on a Raw.
Facts.
Okay, all right.
Whether it's non, I don't give a fuck if it's non-title. If they're the champions, someone has to work their way up to the fucking champion. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind these exhibitions when the champions. You can't just step
to the champions just because you feel like it.
Like, I don't like. That's what I'm. That's how. That's why I feel like you make the champions like more important, and the tag team titles needs to look important most of all.
They need to come off the Major Bros ASAP.
Yeah.
Bro.
They need to come off.
I'm saying what I'm saying, but we don't see the Major Bros not because they're trying to make them look strong. No, because they don't give a fuck about them, obviously.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying
they're just placeholders.
But what I'm saying is, if the Usos and the Revival, either one of them had the titles, one of the teams had to work their way up. I don't want to see them go against each other on a Raw. Save that fucking match for a title match on a pay-per-view. That's when I want to see that collide.
Mm-hmm. Save it for the pre-show because you gotta have a hot match for the pre-show.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's all I had to say. Great match. I love the heel finish by the Revival. They won with the handful of tights. Typical heel move. I love it.
And look, and you see what happens. Just let these fucking guys go. Stop that Uzi hot bullshit. All that. All that shit was dumb.
Don't get me wrong.
I'm sorry.
I
all
love
that
the
shit was dumb,
Usos,
bro.
but let them wrestle.
Like the Usos is fine when they try to do little comedic things and all that shit. But let's be real, bro. When they were on SmackDown Live, they cut hard ass backstage promos. They weren't doing no goofy ass Uzi hot bullshit. They was cutting raw promos. Yeah. When they came to the ring, and
they backed up everything they said.
When they came to the ring, what am I saying? When they came to the ring and they did promos back and forth on people, they said funny things. But they didn't do no goofy ass, foolish, comedic bullshit. Yeah. Watching these other two shave themselves in the back and shit. Like, come on with that dumb shit, bro. That's stupid shit. Let the Usos be what they were on SmackDown. Nigga, it's the Uso penitentiary. God fucking damn it, bro. Like this shit, like that shit irks my.
They're making them look like they're making them look like high schoolers, honestly.
All that extra shit. All you did was take the Usos from SmackDown and you put them on Raw. You didn't need to change anything else about the Usos.
Bro, as they were on SmackDown, you put them anywhere, they're going to be money.
You didn't need to change anything else. It worked.
I think it's because of their proximity with the revival. Because it seemed like Raw, the way they've been treating the revival, has been like this weird, goofy thing that they've been doing with them, and anybody or any team that's been facing them kind of played into it. I mean, not to the extreme of the Uzi hot, but just like finding ways to extreme to embarrass them. I guess from what I'm hearing.
That shit is really extreme. Like, I understand. Okay, if you're gonna do that, choose another team to do that to them, not the fucking Usos.
Yeah.
For
Pick
real.
somebody else. Because
Could've
you're
been
anyway,
to
Preston,
me, you heard
we
it, the
digress.
Usos, bro. Exactly, the Major Bros could have been.
They'd
It
have
could
been
have
perfect
easily
for
been
that.
those two are perfect to do that goofy
Yeah.
shit. Everyone knows they're goofy, but the Usos have a certain fucking persona that they built on SmackDown. That doesn't work, bro. And I understand they came to Raw. Why the fuck did they Titantron and all that background have to be red? Just leave it black. What the fuck is the rule? Leave it black. It wasn't blue on SmackDown.
Yo, how did you notice that?
Leave that shit black, bro.
I didn't even notice that until
I
you
totally
mentioned
didn't notice
it.
that.
Bro, y'all
gotta
didn't
go.
notice that? Are you serious?
Because I don't pay attention to the Titantrons anymore.
It's bright red.
Bro.
Bro, it's not just the Titantron. It's the Titantron. It's the floor when they come out. It's everywhere in the background. What are y'all talking about? It's been like
Bro.
that for weeks. Since the first day they came to Raw, it was like
I
that.
hadn't even noticed, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yo,
Bro.
y'all niggas are wildin', bro.
Hey, I don't know. To me, it blended in with the stage, but it's
That's the problem. It shouldn't be red. Like, leave that shit black. They were fine with all black everything.
Carmel, what's your favorite color?
Hey, but listen.
My favorite color is blue.
Okay, now we got to it. We figured it out, Tommy. We figured it
No.
out.
You didn't figure out anything because on SmackDown their shit was black. It wasn't blue.
Yeah.
Hot take before we move on to what Preston liked about Raw. Speaking of changes that I think are unnecessary, what do y'all think about that little bullet ricocheting sound before Ricochet's music drops?
Oh, that's not changing, bro. We've been talking about that for weeks.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, that's not going nowhere, bro.
I think it's beyond stupid. It's like it just makes him look cartoony.
It's just gonna make a nigga upset, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. What can we do? What can we do?
And anyway, Preston, what was your favorite part about Raw?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Tommy. What I really liked the most out of this entire show, man, that you know what? As much as people want to, say whatever they want to say about Brock, right? And everybody has a right to say that, and I can understand where they're coming from. But we got an amazing segment, and it wouldn't have happened the way it did on Raw if that wasn't Brock Lesnar. I don't care if it was Drew McIntyre that got the Money in the Bank briefcase or whoever else. We wouldn't have got that segment with him, Seth, and Kofi and Paul Heyman the way that we did. That was an amazing segment. And the way that it made Kofi look, the way that it made Seth look, when it was like, hey, cash it in right now. Come face me right now if you want this belt. I like the what he's putting on them as far as making them scared in the sense like we don't want you to come from surprising. We want to hit you up head first. You only can get that from Brock Lesnar. That's the only way. You're not getting that from Drew McIntyre, and I get it.
I'm not gonna lie. Him coming out and acting like the Money in the Bank is a boombox or his music playing was fucking gold. That was amazing.
Great. And
bro, that is the most personality I've seen from Brock Lesnar for a long time, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front. I kind of smirked when I saw that.
Bro,
that shit was hard, bro. That shit was really hard.
It was great.
Like, that shit was really, really hard. I'm not
Him
gonna
getting
lie.
the briefcase sucks, yes. But that segment was, especially when Paul Heyman said, Seth Rollins, you understand about waiting because you have to wait 7 hours and see your girlfriend in the main event that night. I was like,
oh my, yo, bro. First of all,
bro, I heard that. I was like, oh,
first of all, for WWE to acknowledge that shit is like, whoa.
And they cut it off quick though, if you noticed it.
The way Paul said that shit, I was like, yo, Seth, if you don't slap the fuck out of this nigga, slap the fuck out the Penguin, bro. That was his motherfucking.
That was scripted, bro. There's no way. That was
obviously.
There is.
But obviously, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Seth played it well, but I'm pretty sure Paul probably ran it by himself. Like, yo, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
Dude,
Paul's
I'm going to say this.
He's very professional.
Yeah, no, he has the utmost respect for like the top guys in the industry right now, guys like Seth Rollins. So I'm pretty sure he wasn't gonna, just go out there and say that without running it by Seth first.
But
by the way,
go ahead.
By the way, I agree with you. I agree with you about the opening segment and everything.
Yeah.
But that's a part of my dislikes. But go ahead.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll throw a little bit of the dislike in there, and it's not yours. I think I know exactly what yours is. That part that Paul Heyman said about JFK getting murdered, that didn't have to be in there. That was so awkward.
That was like
awkward.
beyond ridiculous.
Like, why? Why say that? That just, I don't know. It didn't need that.
Yeah,
it was weird. But overall, I love the segment, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
right.
so let's get to the dislikes, guys.
Yeah, let's get to the dislikes, man.
All right, I'll go.
All right.
Let me just go. All right, cool. So this is my dislike.
Okay.
I really liked the opening segment a lot. I really liked it, and I mean I like the fact that when Paul Heyman came out, he's like something Kofi something. It's a new day, and you know the music hit. Kofi came out. Hey, Kofi came out, confronted Brock Lesnar, and looked strong. This is what I like the fact they're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Seth or it's Kofi, and I like this, and it doesn't make Brock look any less of a beast, but they're not scared of him.
I love it. I love
Period.
it.
They're not fucking scared of him, and they're willing to go at him, and I love it. However, and this is my problem, two things. This wild card rule shit, stop it with Kofi on Raw. You have a brand split for a reason. And to me, Kofi has done fine being the WWE champion on SmackDown. That first night after WrestleMania, when he came and confronted the Universal Champion, that was fine. That was great.
That was fine.
But this constant him coming to Raw to try to one-up Seth Rollins or try to look hard, whatever, this needs to stop. And also them teaming up needs to stop. Kofi doesn't fucking need Seth Rollins. He's doing fine by himself on his own. And that's what
Seth doesn't
that's
need
the
him.
problem. No, but it's not the other way around. The WWE is only doing this one way. They're doing this to
Seth's
make
not on
Seth
SmackDown.
they're doing this to try to make Kofi look better.
Yeah.
But Kofi does not need Seth. He's been fine on SmackDown, even with Big E and Xavier basically for the past 2-3 weeks. Basically, well, obviously Big E for 6 weeks, but even Woods has been in the background in this whole Kofi thing. And Kofi's been fine. He's been great. He's been holding his own. He's been amazing. He's been amazing. And that is my problem with this. I like the opening segment, but I don't need Kofi to be the one always coming over in the wild card rule to Raw.
Or Roman.
He is the Smack. I'm gonna let y'all talk about that. But he's the SmackDown. He's the WWE champion.
Right.
Raw has the Universal champion, and unlike the other titles or the other wrestlers that are coming over to Wildcard Rule, your main championships need to be separated from each other.
I agree, 100%.
That should be a special occasion, just like the Raw after WrestleMania.
Facts. Don't make it every week, bro.
Kofi doesn't need fucking Seth Rollins. He's doing 1,000% fine without him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Stop that shit, man.
I think I wanted that segment, but overall, I get what you mean. Like, I think for championship belts, period, they shouldn't do the wild card rule with the champions. The champions, period, should be separated. But I think what they're doing is because like whatever ratings Raw get, SmackDown gets lower, and I think they're doing this for ratings, which is really stupid because, like you said, Kofi don't need Seth.
That's what I'm saying. But also, this is why I'm not gonna go too in depth with this.
Okay.
But this is why I agree with what you said. No champion should be crossing over for this reason now, because you created the wild card title, with the 24/7 title, whatever the fucking shit. You created that title, so that title and the women's tag team titles are the only titles that should be cross branded.
Yeah.
Because you created that title for that reason. So whoever has that title can go over to whichever show, plus the wild cards can too. But I think I don't know, man. It's hard because it's hard to have a wild card rule and not have a champion come over. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a lot. You know, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
or every so often though, not so much.
Yeah. Don't do it every fucking.
Yeah,
week.
but
It's getting too
rotate them. Don't make it
exactly.
That the champion
Exactly.
comes
At least once a month. Like each champion, like at least once out of the month, the U.S. champion comes to SmackDown, or the IC champion comes to Raw, or the tag team, one of the tag team titles goes to one time out of the month, maybe. If they're not in a feud, if they're not in a feud with the other brand, because obviously the whole reason why they're doing this is for cross-brand feuds, obviously. But at the same time, it's like, if you're gonna do that, then just have one championship for both shows. Because there's no
For
point
real.
of having two titles if you're gonna do that.
And also use the wild card rule for people who aren't on TV. Like at least give those
It's-
people an
But
opportunity.
I think
to-
that's,
At
but I think that's the 20. That's the
24/7.
reason. That's the reason for the
Yeah,
24/7.
that's the
title.
record label belt.
Like you're not gonna have
Yeah.
you're not gonna have Seth Rollins, Kofi Kingston, Drew McIntyre involved in the 20. Roman Reigns involved in the 24/7. Our Truth, B Team, fucking. I saw Norm Dar running in the
Yeah, I
background
saw
too. I
him.
don't
He
know
was
if you saw
gone,
that.
bro.
Yeah.
got
Drake
feet.
Maverick, EC3.
Yeah, easy. I hate the. Oh my god, we're not even gonna get there. But
Who's that?
Titus O'Neil and that's for those guys. And by the way, like I said, until we go to Tommy's negatives, like I said, our truth is the Crash Holly, and they have to keep it on him
Facts.
at least a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
At least, bro.
They have to.
That guy is perfect for that title.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And next week, I need to see some videos of some people trying to attack him while he's asleep,
Yeah.
while he's at a
In the
restaurant.
airport.
Mm-hmm.
Right, a restaurant, something. Like, I need to see some shit.
Yeah.
They gotta do it.
On
They gotta do
on
it.
the WWE YouTube. Let's do some stuff on there. It don't even have
Yeah,
to be
For
during the
real.
or Twitter,
and then-
stuff like that. Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just show the clip briefly on Raw or whatever.
Oh,
Or
it'll be
SmackDown,
funny too,
yeah.
because like if they get somebody on Twitter or something like a wrestler, they go like, "Hey, I'm videotaping. I'm about to go in this room and go pin Kofi Kingston. Watch this." And he busts the door
Yo,
open.
for real.
That would be great, man. Like it's perfect.
That would be hilarious.
That would be
And
great.
that'd be funny. And that'd be funny if that person's recording, and then the person that they're recording actually gets the advantage and then gets the title, and that person puts the phone or the recorder down,
Yeah.
and you see the phone and recorder there, and they put it down and they go jump the dude to get the title. And they
That would
they
be
take the phone
funny.
and they start running.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's so much they can
Yeah.
do with this, bro. I'm telling you, this is the best thing they've done so far,
No,
man. It's so
yeah.
much they can do
Yeah.
with this.
And you know what's funny? Preston and I were talking about Crash Holly and Hardcore Holly and them last week. Remember?
Oh yeah, we were talking about because we were talking about the Hardcore Championship and the 24/7 rule and all that stuff, and how much the Hollies contributed to WWF. Like that is pretty
Yeah,
funny.
I think the reason, I think the reason why they didn't want to actually bring it back and call it the hardcore title because they know it would just be an empty name. They couldn't really go hardcore.
Yeah,
I think that's why.
they,
I think that's why they did it.
You're not
The
gonna
name
see
is
blood
the name
or
is still
anything
trash
like
to
that.
me, but I think that's why they didn't actually have hardcore. In
Whatever.
the title.
I'm over.
But they
I'm
need to
over
check-
the name. I just
No,
want to see how far
The name is fine for me now, but they need just to change the belt. The belt is fucking ugly as shit.
Yeah, the bill is hideous.
Holy
I love the
crap!
concept.
It's
Bro,
ugly.
it looks like a retconned version of the belt that they gave Braun Strowman for the what's it called for the greatest Royal Rumble. That green shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But that
kinda
green,
look like
that one looked better than this.
Yeah, way better. This one
Because
just,
Yeah.
that one looked like more, it looked closer to the WWE and Universal title. It was just the strap was different. It was a different color.
Yeah, basically the 24/7 belt is that belt's little brother.
it
Yeah,
just
she
looks
was
like a
trash.
gold record plaque. Like we sell.
Yeah,
that's
like
what
when
it
you
looks
sell
like.
500,000 records.
Yo,
Yeah.
Tommy. So what's your dislike before we go over?
Oh yeah,
Dislike. My dislike. The pointless segments of having a giant motherfucker beating up on guys that are a third his size. That's not gonna get any kind of heat or get you over in any way. This
Yeah,
shit doesn't work anymore.
that Braun Sammy shit was you talking about
No, I'm talking about
the
Lars.
Lucha? Oh yeah, that, but also the Braun Sammy shit was a part of one of my dislikes.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
yeah,
thought
you can bunch
the Kofi
those
thing's more
together.
important. The Kofi thing's more important. That's why I wanted to talk
Yeah,
about it. But
you can bunch Lars and Braun together. It's
yeah, I
the
just
same
think this
shit.
fucking pointless, bro. Braun and Sammy, it was just a fucking.
It's like,
squash.
bro,
like,
so you beat up three guys that are each a third your size. Whoop-de-doo. You want a medal for that?
yeah, man.
Was
Yeah.
it-
Yeah,
Yeah,
Preston. What's
yeah,
your
yeah.
what's your dislike?
I would agree with that, and then also I didn't like how Drew was booked in that Miz match. He looked kind of weak in that match, in my
Oh,
personal opinion. And the
God.
fact that he's back to being a lackey, I wish they would just make him be like, "Hey, you know what? I'm a mercenary for hire." You know what I'm saying? Like,
But you know what? I was fine with the match. I wasn't fine with him being a lackey.
No, I don't like
Yeah.
that at
But
all,
the
bro.
match I was
Oh, yeah,
fine.
that was
You
among
know
my
what I
other
think.
dislikes.
You know what I think. You know what I think. Skewed your perspective on the match is the fact that you saw that he was a lackey first.
I think it was I
Exactly.
think it was a combination of both of you're right. It was both
No,
of those
because
things
I
the
together
think
match
if he
was
wasn't a
the
I
match
think if
was
he
actually
wasn't a
pretty
lackey, yeah,
solid.
I think if he wasn't a lackey and he was just Drew and he just had a good match with the Miz, you probably would have been fine.
But
Yeah, no, the
it
match was
was.
pretty solid.
I
I
think
can't
it's
lie.
that, but then also if you look at his record of wins and losses, he hasn't been picking up too many wins. Like he
Hey
hasn't.
man,
They really haven't been doing nothing with him.
before WrestleMania, what did I tell you, man?
Yeah, you
What I
did say
tell you,
that.
bro?
He's
What I
going
fucking
down.
tell you, bro?
And
That's
all,
just their MO, bro. Like I just don't understand. This guy is such a good heel.
but he's a lot.
He's a
What else does he
star.
have to fucking prove?
He doesn't. He doesn't. And he's a lucky dude. His alliances make no sense. He was under Baron Corbin just for
Nope.
being under Baron Corbin. He's under Shane McMahon for whatever reason. He should just be like, hey man, you want me to take care of something? Kind of like APA. You got to pay me. You want me to take care? You want me to take
Exactly.
care of
Yo,
Shane
let him.
McMahon? You got to pay me. And
That
then
shit
that's
with
it.
him and Dolph. That shit with him and Dolph was cool because you knew the end game. He was gonna turn on Dolph.
Oh
You
yeah,
knew that
Exactly.
was the end game.
yeah.
You knew he was gonna
Now
turn
you
on
don't know
Dolph.
what the fuck they're
and
trying
then-
to do with him.
Then go on his own. But the shit with him and Dolph was good to start because it got people that haven't seen him in a while that don't watch NXT to reacclimate themselves with him, to get used to him, shit like that. So that was fine. But
Exactly.
you knew he was
Yeah.
gonna turn on Dolph and go on his own. But
and
this shit with
Facts.
Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and all them, that shit needs to end already.
For real.
Stop it.
And even when he went to,
Oh
and we're gonna talk about this
God.
later. Even when he went to SmackDown and do whatever he did at the Roman, we'll talk about the specifics later. Even if he would have said like, yeah, Shane would have gave him like an envelope, and he was like, okay. And then can you imagine in the future, Shane is like, hey, I'm paying you to protect me, and then Shane gets beat up, and he's like, yo, where were you? He's like, hey, you was a little short on the cash, so I couldn't do nothing about it.
Yo,
Like, can you
Bro,
imagine?
I
that
would
would be
love that.
awesome.
That would be
love that.
amazing. Like,
I would love that.
At least he'll have something to do. He's not just
Be like,
being
yo,
somebody's lackey.
Be like, yo, you shortchanged me, so I chose not to protect you.
Yeah. That's all they got to do, bro. But that's all I disliked, really. I mean, amongst other
All right,
things,
so
but whatever.
yeah, we kind of rambled on quite a bit for this review. Grades, gentlemen.
Carmen?
Let y'all go first.
I give it a solid C plus.
I'll give it a B minus. I think there was a lot of stupid stuff, but they had some pretty good matches mixed in there as well. So,
Yeah, like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. It
nah,
was so C plus.
it wasn't amazing, but
Yeah. Honestly, I agree with both your grades. I guess I'll settle for the B minus because there was a couple things that I really, really liked. I really enjoyed, but I agree. It wasn't like there was still some really bad stuff. So I guess you know what I mean. So, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't a usual terrible Raw show. So at least you know.
yeah, it was so yin and yang. It was so many things I hated,
Yeah.
so many things I liked.
Yeah.
So yin and yang.
Facts.
Oh, by the way, before we leave, I think it was utterly ridiculous to have Nick Foley come out and cut such an inspirational type promo.
For that
To,
bit.
no, it's not even for the belt. For the obtaining of the belt to start in a fucking mad scramble. You just made his speech pointless.
Yeah, rugby.
Facts.
Anyway,
That's a rugby title.
yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. This is the Undisputed Champ Sports Podcast. If you guys want to check us out on other platforms, just type that name in. I'm Preston. That's Carmine. That's Tommy. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.
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 All right.